I started in 2006. That was during my second year at the National University of Science and Technology, where I was doing a degree in applied mathematics. And it comes down to passion and calling for me. I'm very good with numbers, but it only took 1 year of attachment for me to realize that I was not cut out for a suit and tie, sitting behind a desk and punching in numbers, making my boss happy, but I feel like I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, pretty much. I then felt a calling in me that, you know what, I gave you a gift, which is dancing. You need to do something about that. And here we are.
No big, I feel like Pac, I shoot a shot.
People think that as a Christian, you're supposed to wear white and dance in water. But the challenge has mainly been wanting to win people over in the sense of, yes, I'm a Christian, but I am not detached from what's happening in the country and what's happening in the world. Because every time people say, okay, you're just going to bash Jesus in black and white. But for me, it's more like, no, every day I struggle. Every day I have to fight through different things and difficulties that I face every day. And having to leave that out as a Christian has not been easy, but at the same time, it has been satisfying because the hope that I have has helped me navigate up until to a point where I can safely say that I love what I do and I enjoy it. So it took my mom about 5 years to watch me dance for the first time. My dad, 6 years. Ever since I started. So I do understand what my parents wanted to do. They wanted the best for me. Like, you know what, we need you to look for a vocation that will allow you to pay for your bills and live a good life, of which I do understand that. So it took my parents a very long time to come to terms, because I remember telling them when I was about to graduate that I'm going to get my certificate and my degree in this, but I'm not going to use it soon after that. Now that didn't sit well for quite a long time. But I think the thing that helped is that my mother is a prayerful person. So she had to go back to God and say, okay, my son is not doing what I would have preferred him to do, but God, if you have a plan for him, then you open up the doors for him to succeed. So then it came around, but it wasn't easy because you want the support and the blessing from your parents to do what you do and to do it well. The one thing that I'll say that's very important to aspiring dancers is that do not let your talent take it to a place where your character cannot sustain it. Because we have a lot of people that are talented and gifted. But once they get to their desired destination, their character is not built up in such a way that it can sustain them for them to last and bear fruit for a very long time. I was just happy with being nominated. You know, I was like, yeah, I made it into the top 3 in Zimbabwe. And I'm going up against people that are seasoned, that are professionals, that have been winning awards 13 times in a row, 6 times in a row. And here comes a rookie saying, you know what, I also want to be Mambwere. So the first one was significant. I think for the other ones that followed afterwards, they were important, but they didn't carry as much weight as the first one did. And I think part of that is because of the motivation, what drives me to want to do what I do. It's not necessarily to win awards. Like let me dance so that I can win the next award. For me, it's like success is not what I do compared to them per se. It's what I do compared to what I was created to do. So I'm always wanting to push myself, go the extra mile and see if I'm getting nearer to the potential that God placed in me. The first book I co-authored, it's called Arts and Culture in a Changing Democratic Society. So there was an organization called Konrad Adenauer Stiftung Foundation. It's a German-based organization which has offices here in Zimbabwe. So they looked for influential people in the arts, not just in dance, but in music and painting, in any art form that is there. And then they pulled in those influential people, and then they said, what does that art form look like for you as a dancer in a changing democratic society, particularly in Zimbabwe? Because it might not apply in the States or anywhere else, but what does that look like for you, and how can that shape the fabric of your community here in Zimbabwe? So it was a privilege to be called up, for that. The other book that I co-authored, it's pretty much a journey, because I've been dancing for over 13 years. So I've learned a lot. I've traveled a lot. I've seen a lot, and I've experienced a lot. And this is more of me sharing what I've experienced, because it has to be passed on. There's no need for anyone to be selfish with what they know. the best way to retain it is to give it, you know. And so this is just a book that I authored that's still being edited, and it will be published soon. The heart for that is to have everyone else who's coming after me to not make the same mistakes I did, so that they have a platform to launch off from and say, you know what, if I wanted to do that, I shouldn't do that, I should do it this way. And then hopefully they can push the art form further than I. At the end of every single year, I compile my creative work, particularly with people that I teach and people that I encounter throughout the year, and then I get shared. There are people that you can reach physically, and then there are people who support you, but you cannot go to where they are. And the best way to reach them and impact them is through the creative form of that. So the series that I do, I just package everything. And then every single day of the last month of each year, I'm sharing something. And that video comes with context, because I think context matters. What was the process like for me making that video? Why did I involve the people in that video? What was the process like for me choosing the particular song that I did and the particular space where I shot the particular dance video? So that it's not just taking a video and then putting it out there, but then it's putting it out there with a purpose. You know, to try and reach out and say, don't just take videos with your phone. Invest time and your money and all your creative ability to bring out the best work, so that Zimbabwe can shine as a artistic hub. A collaboration I would love to do is I want to do Lecrae's music video at some point, or Triple E, anyone from Rich Records. Everyone has music that they like and artists that they gravitate to. The ones that I gravitate to are artists that don't necessarily have trending music that's trending right now, but their music is still excellent because it has an eternal perspective to it, but not minimizing them addressing what is currently happening in our lives right now. And what I love about these artists is that what they sing tallies with how they live their lives. These are Christian brothers and sisters who are putting out music that is impacting lives and changing lives and impacting communities. And it's music that I find myself being moved by, and then that sparks the creativity itself. Most importantly, there's a local guy here in Zimbabwe whose music has jumped into that bracket of people that I listen to, and his name is Mwenje Matole. I think he released one of the best albums I ever heard from Zimbabwe last year, and I did something to one of his songs, so you should look that up as well. 2020, I'm hoping to do a lot of creative work with my wife, who's also a dancer and choreographer. I mean, we've done something together, but just focusing more on creating art where we showcase ourselves as a couple. But on the artistic side, I want to challenge myself to do stuff I've never done, because I'm a huge fan of wanting to grow. So that's one thing. The other thing that I want to do is I want to travel, continue traveling, because I get to travel a lot, pretty much mid-year. I want to travel a lot, collaborate with other artists, get to know and learn from them. But at the same time, I think I'm in a phase of my life where I'm passing down stuff, because I will never dance forever. I cannot be 90 and still dancing. Maybe I might be dancing, I don't know. But I cannot be 90 and still dancing. So I'm slowly getting to a place where I'm telling myself, Sean, you now need to get yourself off the stage and then put others on stage, and then they carry the banner and still run with it. So just trying to equip young people to run the race and run it well, and then we see where that goes. There are people that have really impacted my life over the years. I think a shout out is to our studio, Eminem Dance Factory, to Mitz and Melanie. They've been amazing, and they are gifted and talented. Another shout out goes to my family. They've supported me all the way, and my wife, love you very much. You know, hope to do more things with you. But above everything, the glory goes to God. You know, we can do all these things. I can achieve a lot of things. I can win awards. But if the glory does not go to the one who gave you the gift, then there's no point really.
I'm just working better, move fella. Who settle, shop at iron, whole crew metal. New level, I'ma shine like a new bezel. You just gotta keep your head up and don't let go.